video, I'm going to give you an overview of assessment centres. I'll tell you about what an assessment centre is and why companies run them, and then what you can expect on the day, as well as some top tips to help you prepare. So an assessment centre is one way that companies recruit new staff. Usually, an assessment centre will either be half a day or a full day long, and they're often held at the company premises. During the course of the day, you'll complete a range of activities, some of which might be done individually and some as a group. Some of the common activities of an assessment centre are an interview, psychometric tests, and a task that simulates what you might be doing in the job. We'll go into more detail on each of these parts in the video. So why do companies run assessment centres? Well, they're often used by companies when they're hiring people either straight from education or who have a limited experience in the job they're interviewing for. So instead of just going off answers in an interview, the assessment centre gives you a chance to demonstrate your skills relevant to the job. So it's not really about testing your knowledge, it's more about your problem-solving abilities, teamwork, and ways of working. And what can you expect on the day? All companies do it slightly differently, but I'll give you an example of what the assessment centre could look like. You might be asked to bring some documents with you to be checked, things such as the certificates of your qualifications and some form of ID. And then once everyone has arrived, you'll be given a brief about how the day will run. And the typical parts include those psychometric tests. Now, these tests are a way to measure cognitive ability or to find out more about your personality. Numerical reasoning and non-verbal reasoning tests are common examples of this. So numerical reasoning tests require you to interpret data, find patterns and trends, and make predictions. And non-verbal reasoning tests look at how you analyse visual information to solve problems. And there's lots of free examples of these that you can use online to practice. And then the interview. So you might be interviewed by one or more people from the company, and they might ask you questions about previous situations, like, tell us about a time you worked under pressure. How did you prioritise your workload? The job description and person specification will give you details about the skills and experience they're looking for. So make sure you're prepared for questions on these points. And remember to keep your answers specific and relevant to the question that's been asked. And then the tasks. So you might have an individual task, like coming up with a new idea for the company, or coming up with ways for them to improve something which already exists, and then presenting your ideas back. If you do need to present, make sure that as well as being clear about your points, you're aware of your body language and be mindful of any time restrictions. And then in groups, you might be asked to focus on tasks or problems set by the company, which may reflect the work you'd be doing in the job. They often also add in time constraints here just to see how well you work under pressure. During this task, you'll be observed by members of staff who might be taking notes. And it's looking at how well you perform against the criteria they have. So don't think of it like a competition. It's not about who talks the most. It's about how well you demonstrate the skills and qualities they're looking for. There's loads of myths about the group task, like make sure you're the person to write on the whiteboard or make sure you're the one to present back to the group. But what really matters is that you make sure you put forward quality points, collaborate effectively, and ensure everyone has a chance to contribute. And now some top tips for preparing. So make sure you bring or prepare anything you've been asked to. And if you have any questions about the day, just contact the company for clarification. Make sure you've done your research, not just about the business itself, but look at the wider market, like who their competitors are. Make sure you're familiar with the job description and person specifications so you know what they're looking for. And remember, the interviews are two-way discussions, so prepare questions you'd like to ask them as well. In the group task, include everyone and listen to their points of view. And ultimately, be yourself. They're looking for certain qualities and competencies, and if you've got them, they will come through naturally. And if not, then it wasn't the right fit for you, and you can look for your next opportunity. And if you're a BCS member, you can access member-exclusive content via our Springboard e-learning platform to help you prepare for the assessment centre. Details of this in the description below. Thanks for watching and good luck.